Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Shawn and Lacey Live.
We're back.
We're back. Hey, welcome, everybody. You guys know what to do. We're back with you live. Hit that subscribe button if you're brand new. But more importantly, let's hit that share button. People are like, hey, are Shawn and Lacey ever coming back? Hit the share. Share. Hit that share button. So glad to see you. Tell your friends Shawn and Lacey are live. And tonight we are giving away $500, about half a rack up for grabs right here on Shawn and Lacey Live. We've got every single Black Diamond Club member, every single Book Yourself Solid group coaching member in the digital canasta. Tonight we're drawing 5 names. You must be here with us live in order to claim your prize. But someone's taking home half a rack just for showing up on a Wednesday. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? So great to be back with you. How are we doing? We got 14 people with you. Lacey and I love every single one of you, and we appreciate you for being with us. Oh, yeah. All right. Now that we're back here in the driver's seat, who do you guys think is producing tonight's episode?
Tell us who you think is producing. And yes, Dexter is joining us again. Dexter was gone just as long as we were.
Yeah, everybody's excited to be back into their normal routines.
Mhm.
Here we are, back into the normal routine of life. We've missed 3.
We have a myriad of guesses here. We've got Bobby, we've got James, we've got Luke, we've got James, we've got Robert. So I don't know. Who do you guys think? I mean, we have a lot of sound effects already in the first 3 minutes of the show. And so if that doesn't tell you anything.
Producer?
Hey!
What's up?
What is up? It is James Lewis. What are you excited about today, James?
I'm excited that you guys are back. It's been a few weeks since Shawn and Lacey have been on. It's been a little while since I think all 3 of us have done Shawn and Lacey Live here in the studio. So yeah, that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, well, we're excited to be here.
Well, are you able to put up the curtain, the graphic for today's episode?
Oh,
It's not
loaded up. So if you didn't see
the Ferris Bueller graphic, well, he's got it.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, he's got to get it going. But the Ferris, there you go.
Shawn and Lacey's day off.
This is
That's
creative.
Right. There
James
you
made
go,
us
James.
all laugh today. So if you didn't see it, now you did.
Where in the world have Shawn and Lacey been? We're going to talk all about it here on Shawn and Lacey Live. What about announcements? Do we have anything that we're promoting today? I saw today's episode is being sponsored by Inherent. Don't forget, jump on that. Today's episode is being brought to you by Inherent. Go to thisisinherent.com. Tell our great friends over at Inherent that Shawn and Lacey sent you, that you need some new threads. You got to look dapper. You got to look great. And listen, all for a great cause, promoting men's mental health. There's not a lot of companies out there that are promoting men's mental health. I think that's super important. You know, so many men, they suffer from depression, and it's not a very man's man type of thing to talk about that. And so Inherent stepping up for the cause. They also are promoting this idea that when you look good, you feel better. It's hard to be depressed when you look and feel amazing. Get yourself some new threads from Inherent. See how your mood and attitude changes. It's good for your looks. It's good for your job, but it's really good for your mental health.
Absolutely.
I saw we're talking about how to make difficult financial decisions. Lacey's hosting a masterclass coming up next Tuesday. I'm going to ask my team to post the link in the chat. Every single one of you needs to get registered. This is backed by popular demand. Lacey dropped this masterclass. A lot of people were like, hey, I wasn't able to jump on it. So we're repeating it for you, for all of you that are like, oh, I don't think I need that. Well, yes, you do. You need to understand. Lacey's giving you a roadmap, a guide, helping you to understand how to make difficult financial decisions. And listen, this is a time when a lot of us are facing difficult financial decisions. None better than Lacey to help you. Click that link that's in the chat. Let's get you registered. We would love to see you on board at the masterclass.
Absolutely.
Abundance and Overflow is
Woo!
right around the corner, July 19th and 20th. Once again, the hotel room block is sold out. You've waited way too long. You have to get special grace and favor from Luke Mendel. And I honestly don't know if there's any rooms available at this time. I'm
I
not
think
sure.
we do actually have a couple. We
I know
opened
you
up.
were fighting. I mean, and
we
it
fought for like
sucks. You guys
I think
fight.
we fought for 3 more.
Oh,
So
3 more rooms. Woo.
Hey,
Oh, great. There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
call it a win. That's
There's
3 more
3
of our
more
guests that can
rooms.
get a room. So
Wow. You guys crushed it on
There.
that. But listen, for
Thanks.
everybody else, go to www.blackdiamondclub.com. Right on the top, you'll see a button to click on to register for Abundance and Overflow. We have an amazing lineup. We're going to be talking about, we're setting you up with how to make difficult financial decisions. And then we're going to be talking about all things mindset, all things financial. Listen, when things are tough in the world's economy, you have to understand that the world's economy is not your economy. We want to set you up to win financially through 2024 and beyond. We're bringing in the heavy hitters. We've got Mark Murphy, we've got Alex Paykoff, we've got Claudio Gambin, and Tyler McBroom, who is business partners with Tony Robbins in his CPA firm. Had the opportunity to spend some time with Tyler. He's going to absolutely blow your minds. Imagine whatever it costs you in tickets and travel, airfare, hotel, and food. I am confident that Tyler alone, just that one speaker, 1 hour with Tyler, will make you back all of that and more. Everything else beyond that is going to be pure gravy. Unless you're just totally set financially, you need to be getting your tickets to Abundance and Overflow. I got to tell you, I love what's happening. We're going to talk a little bit about this, but I see so many heavy hitters in the entrepreneur space are reaching out to me and they're like, what's this Abundance and Overflow? I want to come to that. And so, listen, I'm over pulling teeth. If you're struggling, why am I convincing you to not struggle? You need to convince yourself to not struggle, because people who are not struggling are like, hey, man, I need to get there because I saw the lineup. Like, that's sick. And so, yes, you want to be in the room with positive thinkers when it comes to money.
We talk about this all the time, and I talk about this on my masterclass that I do. I wish I would have known some of the things far in advance than I ended up knowing them, that all of our speakers are going to be teaching about, right? Because a lot of people say, well, I don't know. I don't have a lot of overflow of cash right now. I don't have an abundance of money right now. But the most important
that's what
thing,
it's for.
That's what it's for. It's actually to prep you and seed you with the knowledge that will actually help you propel and leverage your cash once you have it. So many people look for these answers after they have money. And what we want to do is prep you to have these answers before you have money.
And I will also tell you,
It's
so
important.
many of you will not have money because you don't have the answers to get the money.
Mm-hmm.
You don't understand how money works. You don't understand how investing works, even on a low level or a small level. You don't understand how taxes work. And because you don't understand that, you pay a ton of taxes. You don't have money to invest. So you just do, you buy Dogecoin because that's what you saw on social media. You do just whatever it is that the world is doing, and then you miss out on what the top 3% or maybe even the top 1% know.
Yep.
We're going to reveal all of that to you and so much more at Abundance and Overflow.
Yay.
If you don't have your tickets, you
Get
don't have
now.
tickets.
Get them now.
Do we have anything else, James?
Yes.
We got
What
Crew
else do I
52.
got?
Two
Oh.
Crew 52.
What?
Yeah, we got
Two Crew 52s. That's because last
the
week
double feature.
we got bamboozled. Lacey and I, we were not able to be here. We were just not able to do it. So 2 very special shout outs today for our Crew 52. We want to recognize, honor, shout out, and really put on a pedestal, first of all, Dan Lyons. Hit that QR code. He is a chiropractor up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. He's a philosopher, a scientist, and an artist, a chiropractor who loves sharing what he's learned with others. Listen, if you're in the chiropractic space and you would love to have a speaker for your event, I don't know why you wouldn't have Dan Lyons there. He is a complete, well-rounded chiropractor, speaks all around the world. In fact, I was on the phone with him earlier today. He's just coming back from yet again another international trip. He was telling me it's interesting because all around the globe, continuing education is not really a thing south of the border of the United States. I mean,
Right.
so Mexico, Central America, South America, continuing education is not a thing. So people aren't motivated. You see a lot of these chiropractic events, And what it is a lot of people who are there just getting
To-
their CEs.
right here, and then but when you go to these other places, they're actually there because they
They're
want to.
hungry. They
They
want
want
the
to consume the
knowledge.
content. Yeah.
So when people internationally are like, "Hey man, we want to deliver not just some, talking head rambling and bambling up there in the front so that we get our CE credits," they call Dan Lyons. You should too. Hit that QR code there. Also, if you know anybody in the Green Bay area, phenomenal Gonstead chiropractor Dan Lyons.
Love it.
Our second feature this week is Sumo Swick, Jeremy Swick from Swick Media, the king of podcasting. If you've ever wanted to start a podcast but you did not know where to begin, you call Jeremy Swick and Swick Media. Their goal is to take the fear out of podcasting and help jumpstart your podcast. Hit that QR code. You've got no listen, this is a show for decisive people.
People like your
You
sumo.
need to get abundance and overflow, and you need to get with Swick Sumo Media. This is a one-stop shop for all of your social needs. Jeremy is the man. He does a lot of work in the rugby space. When USA Rugby and major rugby teams need to get their social media on lock, guess who they call? They call the Sumo. Swick Media, hit that QR code. Don't clown around, because as soon as James takes it down, it's gone, and you're like, wait, how do I get it? That's why. Decisive people take action. They get locked in. Get your podcast going. I can't tell you how many doors our podcast has opened for us.
Absolutely. In fact, I'm starting another one.
Well, there you go.
Because and again, we always talk about like practice what you preach. We tell you all the time, we don't ask you to do things that we don't do ourselves. And I truly recognize the benefits of a podcast. So, Stacy and I have decided to start a podcast that's public facing for Well Infused, and we're super excited about it.
Well, if
because
you're
again,
doing another
we see it.
podcast, some people don't even got their first podcast. They should get on that.
Absolutely.
Speaking of podcasts, hey, the None of Your Business podcast is headed back to SoFi Stadium July 15th. We're having an entire podcast day. If you would love to be a guest on our podcast, hit up James, our producer tonight. James at blackdiamondclub.com. We have a few opportunities to jump in. Not only do you get to be on our podcast, look down our list. You can see a lot of our Black Diamond Club members who have taken the leap to be featured on our podcast. But we also introduce you to all of the other guests who are showing up who, they know a thing or two. We had Alonzo Williams.
Mm-hmm.
That episode just dropped, I think, 2 weeks ago. NWA was founded in his basement. How would you love to just say, like, everybody that I tell, like, oh, Alonzo was on the podcast, everybody says, oh, I bet he's got some stories. Yeah, he does. But
stories.
You could have been there. You could have been there with Alonzo. You could have gotten his phone number if you hit it off. You could have potentially done some collaborations in the future. That's what we're all about. We're going to get you locked into our suite at SoFi with some super cool people. We're going to put you on our podcast. We're going to talk about everything that you've got going on. Also, by the way, if you would love to be a part of our show, Get Book Solid, that comes on every Tuesdays on Instagram and right here on YouTube. Also, reach out to James at blackdiamondclub.com. We're looking for people like Jeremy Swick who help you to get book solid. And we're also looking for people that have really cool, amazing services who would like to get book solid so that we could tell the world, leveraging our platform on Instagram and on YouTube to share your message with the world, and not only ours, but also David Meltzer. Getting your information and your service out to David Meltzer's audience. All you have to do is reach out to James at blackdiamondclub.com. Listen, there's a long list of people waiting in line. So again, this is decisive day. This is the day for people that are like, if you're just sitting around, you're just showing up for the $500. You're missing out on way more than $500. I got to tell you, you could have already hooked up with Dan Lyons. You could have connected with Jeremy Swick. You could get your tickets to Abundance and Overflow. You mean so many things that you could have already sent James an email and been like, hey man, I'd like to be on the None of Your Business podcast. You could have sent James an email and said, I'd like to be on Get Book Solid. We've already had a couple of our Book Yourself Solid group coaching members on. Mm-hmm. They've done tremendous, absolutely
it's been a fun time.
Crushed it.
Yes.
It's been a ton of fun.
So what do we got tonight?
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ferris Bueller's Days Off.
Where?
You know, I think that what we should talk about is seasons. I think it's really important to talk about the seasons of business because we are definitely in a season of travel, unlike we have ever been. I feel like. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I like that topic because I've been in I've been in a season of rest and recovery. I've got my
I have
queued up
not.
hat. You have not. I've got my queued up hat on.
Definitely not me.
And yeah, we got my queued up hat on tonight because I was just out playing a practice round with my good friend Christian Galt, Christian and Andrea Galt from Galt Insurance Group. They're in town for the Chatham Hills member guest. If you need anything in insurance, you've got to look him up. If you're decisive and you're like, well, I have insurance, well, you might be able to beat your rates on everything from home, auto, commercial, liability, everything. Reach out to Christian, tell him that Shawn and Lacey sent you, Galt Insurance Group, save yourself some money. I mean, again, if you're just waiting for the $500, you missed out. You probably could have saved more than $500 on premiums if you made a simple phone call. And so, yeah, I was even thinking like I've not been as active on social media. Somebody was telling me today, like you didn't post a lot of pictures from Scotland, and I was like, I know, but I've been trying to rather than write a book about history, I've been more concerned about and documenting it. I've been more concerned about making it, trying to be a part of it than showing people what I'm eating for dinner. But you've been in a season of just working about 25 and a half hours a day. And so, yeah, there are seasons for everything.
It's funny because Andrea Galt is here too, and we were just sitting outside talking about seasons of life and seasons of business, and how you have to figure out which season that you're in, and be okay with the season that you're in, and give yourself permission to move through it so that you can get to the next season. Because so many people and I talk to a lot of you, and Shawn and I coach a lot of you, and so many people get overwhelmed, or you're in a state of feeling like I'm doing all these things and they haven't worked. And we talk about reaping and sowing, right? And you have to understand, like, what season are you in? And there is seasonality in business that you just cannot avoid, right? There is necessity of energetic output required for growth that if you don't live in that season and you don't do, you can't grow and scale your business. And so sometimes it's hard and sometimes it's exhausting and sometimes you feel like, I don't know that I can squeeze another minute out of my day. But those are often the seasons that produce the most ROI and produce the biggest, most fruitful bounty you can get.
So where have you been these last 3 weeks? Why did you miss
I
Shawn
don't
and
even
Lacey?
remember where I've been these last 3 weeks. I think that's the problem. That's the season I'm in. I'm in the season of I don't know what day it is. Has anybody else ever been in that season? Let me know in the comments if you've been in the season of what day is today, because that's where I'm at. Where have we been the last 3 weeks?
Well, let's see. We were in Scotland, and that was fantastic. We were supporting Ross. That was one of the reasons. Well, no, after that, we were somewhere after Scotland, weren't we?
That's what I'm saying. I don't
James,
know.
did we go somewhere after Scotland?
We were. Megan's on the chat today, and she said we're in the season of flight delays. So where were we? We were in Scotland.
And
we were in
we were in Naples.
Naples.
Yeah, that's what happened. We were in Naples. Yeah, so
LA.
we've been
Megan is saying we were in LA.
Yeah, we've been in LA and Naples. We were then previous to that we were in Scotland. Previous to that we were in New York. Yeah, we've been on just a run. Now I've been on those trips, but I've just not been working 25 and a half hours a day. Even on those trips, you've had to work, right? So even while we were in Scotland, you were still just working. You didn't really get to enjoy much of the country. I played a lot of golf, right?
Yeah.
So I played 4 rounds of golf in Scotland. We're putting together a group. If you want to go with us next year, you got to let me know. We're going to do it 1 year from now. Play a ton of golf again. We're going to hit up the Edinburgh Lectures. We're going to hit up Travis's Cairo Tug on either side of that. I'm even working on getting Christian to go. So we're going to get a little group of guys and gals, doesn't matter. And we're going to be hitting up some golf courses in Scotland next year. You have to book out a year in advance. Yep. So this is, again, decisive people. I love working with and being around decisive people because they're not like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do, right? They're decisive. They know what they're going to do and they take action. And so putting together a trip a year from now. Some people are like, oh, I don't even know if I can go to Abundance and Overflow. It's in July. Well, then you definitely can't be a part of really cool things like going to Scotland, right? So we were in New York. We had an amazing time with Mark Murphy, who's going to be at Abundance and Overflow. He's going to be showing up there and teaching us all kinds of stuff. We met with our CPA. We met with Mark. We saw Tulsi Gabbard. Then we were in Scotland, and then we were in Naples. I think one of the most exciting things is that you're almost done with the FDD and the release of the franchise disclosure document for Well Infused. And I believe we're right on the precipice of seeing the proliferation of the opening of well-infused centers. We have tons of people on the wait list. We've even begun sort of the pre-onboarding process, the pre-selection or pre-awarding process of kind of figuring out where the first well-infused locations are going to be opening up. And we're super excited for what that is going to mean for
Will be
the
a big day of
world.
celebration. Yeah, we're
It'll be a
very,
huge day
very,
of
very excited
celebration.
for what's happening. But again, I think again it's important, and I love everybody in the chat validating that I'm not the only one that goes through the what day is it season, because it honestly is something that, I think that is a necessity for business. Even, we have a lot of businesses, we've opened a lot of businesses, we've invested time, energy, and money into a lot of things, and honestly have a large mission and a lot of passion. And sometimes the seasons can be discouraging, right? Because you're working so hard and you don't see the fruit of your labor. And it's just a reminder, like in those moments where you feel that way, again, recognizing that you're in a nurturing space, that you're in a growth space, that you're tilling the soil and, sowing the seeds and watering the grass or whatever it is that you're doing. And those things always, always, always pay off, right? And I think it's just an important reminder for everybody out there, especially right now with what's happening in the economy, and things are changing and things are shifting and mindsets are shifting. I know each and every one of you more than ever are out there working harder this season than you were in the last. So
Well, we also had to call you in off the bench. We had to, signal for the lefty. We had to signal for the lefty, and bring Lacey in off the bench to give us some help with Everbowl. We
right.
actually just dropped today on the None of Your Business podcast our interview with the founder of Everbowl, Jeff Fenster. Go check that out. But we have two stores open. One's in Chattanooga, one's in Little Rock. Chattanooga was the number 9 highest grossing Everbowl store in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody shares their wins, but I got to tell you, even with the number 9 grossing store, we didn't have the margins that we expected. We were like,
Right.
where's the margin on this? And so we
Collections
were
don't matter,
we
y'all,
were
if the margins don't make sense.
we were
So
super struggling to try and figure out where. I mean, and we're not stupid. I think we're like, what is going on? So we had to fly you and Patrick out to San Diego, spend was it 3 days
3 days.
with the Everbowl crew, and really kind of take apart our business. So again, speaking to all of
That's
you,
right. I was in
speaking
San
to all of
Diego
you,
too,
you're
y'all. I
in San
forgot about
Diego.
that trip.
But to speaking to everybody, I think a lot of people too, it's easy to lull yourself into the collections, the revenue. Oh, I have all this revenue. But if you don't have the margin, you don't have the profit on the
You don't have
backside
the
of it.
systems and the infrastructure to sustain the revenue that you're at right now. It doesn't make sense.
Well, that's why we had to call you in. We didn't have the systems and the infrastructure, and we didn't understand. Like we had what we thought were systems and infrastructure, but this is our first foray into the food service industry. We're really good at services, the non-tangible we sell ourselves. Now we're selling bowls. We're really good at sales, obviously, because we had the number 9 highest grossing store in Chattanooga, Tennessee, folks.
Yeah.
Not in San Diego, not in LA, not in Dallas, Chattanooga. So we obviously know marketing and sales. So for those of you that are like, do these fools know marketing and sales? You should be at Abundance and Overflow, and any opportunity that you get to learn from us, because we've learned how to apply these systems and processes not only in our business, not only in the chiropractic space, but also in the well-infused functional fusion space, but also in the Everbowl selling acai bowl spaces. But there's margin, there's cost
Yeah.
of goods sold, and so you had to be called in and figure all of that out. And so also too, I just want to encourage everybody, we have it under control now. We're super happy. Like you learned so much and then taught us so much from that trip. And we obviously pass that on to our clients, and that just makes us sharper and better. But I want to encourage anybody who's like, man, I'm not, I think I think things are getting tight. Sometimes things are getting tight, but sometimes the revenue's there, and you just need to find the profit that's hidden inside of your business. And that's one of the things that you're really good at.
And here's one of the things that I have definitely learned is, number one, when you are in a busier season of life and you are required to put out more energy, more time, and more effort in your business, those are also the moments that are full of the most lessons, right? And so, and I feel like a lot of times you get so busy and you get so discouraged that you're missing the lessons and the opportunity to learn throughout those moments to crisis proof and secure your business in the future. And so if you're feeling like you're in an overwhelming time right now, also recognize overwhelm and all the things that you have to do is an overwhelming opportunity for you to learn to become better. And that's something that I always have to remind myself and ask myself, where are the lessons in what I'm learning, and all the things that I'm doing. And then lastly, here's something else that I have learned is that in the times where things are working with ease and you have lots of success and lots of things are great in your business, you could still have problems in your business, like small and slim profit margins. But because things feel so easy, oftentimes they're shadowed or diluted by the success that you feel. And what happens is eventually, when things start to shift and change, all of a sudden we uncover all of these problems that we didn't see because we were in a space of ease that needed attention. And so sometimes when you're in the space of, oh, I feel like things are crazy right now, I'm working really hard, I have all these problems, understand that that's a necessity. That is a good thing, because if you can uncover the problems that existed in times of success and fix them in times where you're not as successful, when you reach the next level of success, your business is far better prepared and more secure than it has ever been. And so if you're feeling that way, understand that this is a great moment and a great time and a great opportunity.
That was perfect, because that's what I was going to just ask you to wrap up with. You were sharing that with me. I hope that everybody got that. Thank you, James, for the bomb. Because yeah, a lot of you, and listen, this happens all the time in coaching. And so I really appreciated the lesson when you shared that with me, because I see a lot of clients and a lot of you that when things get tough, then you're like, oh my gosh, this is wrong and this is wrong. And my digital agency is terrible and my salespeople suck. And you find all of these things. And Lacey was telling me, yeah, but all of those things were always present all along. You just didn't pay attention to them because there were other areas that were good. Of course,
Right.
if you're looking at revenue, you're like, well, the revenue is so great. And you don't
So great.
realize that, your team's not doing what they should. Things are slipping through the cracks. Sales aren't happening. Leads aren't converting. You don't notice that. Why should you? Because you have the revenue. Then when things get tight, all of a sudden you start to
You're like,
notice.
oh my God, there's all the problems.
But you feel like, oh, I'm all these problems, right? That's why I'm here. And what you were saying is, no, the problems were always there.
They were always there.
You just never looked at them because you were blinded by, oh, things were good over here. So you didn't notice them. And so one of the keys too is that, how can we learn how to notice the problems,
Right.
even
in
when
times
things are
of
good?
success,
Yes,
right?
yes. Because it's easy to blind yourself.
It's absolutely easy to blind yourself. And again, don't worry, it's a necessity. All businesses go through ebbs and flows. All businesses go through growing pains. And this is a moment of a growing pain, but it's a necessity to actually grow, right? And so it's your business is designed to highlight to you the areas of weakness, and you need to be designed to like look at them, audit them, understand them, and make them better so that you can grow to the new stage of growth. And so it's okay. We all go through it. I wish business was easy all the time, but we would be lying if we told you that. And so we feel you, we understand, but that's why you're here, right? Tonight, to be with like-minded individuals that are feeling the same way.
And I love it. All of the positive comments. Thank you guys so much. We super appreciate you. Yep. I hope that you'll get registered for Lacey's How to Make Difficult Financial Decisions Masterclass. It's absolutely free, so you should be registered for that. And then I hope that you'll get registered for Abundance and Overflow. We're just getting started here, folks. We want to help you. I think that you're going to see part of my quiet time has been a retooling time. We're very open about this. You're going to see some massive changes about the way that we interface and work with people. I feel like it's kind of like, remember COVID when I did the lives every single day because we needed to throw a life preserver to a struggling community, because it didn't matter. When COVID happened, you didn't have a choice. You had to struggle. They closed you. So you had to struggle. You had to figure it out. This is a little bit different because things are tightening up economically. So you have a choice to struggle, but we're going to change the way radically that we interface with the select few who don't want to struggle. So you'll see opportunities coming out. We're not going to make a big deal, fanfare about this. It's just going to slowly happen. We've been working on this for literally years. And when this rolls out, I hope that you'll take advantage of it if you are one of those people who wants to be saved.
Make a change.
You're like, I want to win. I want to get through this. lastly, too, just want to say, because it's been my inbox and my phone, and even today James and I did a little piece. Want to send out some love to our great friend Michael
Aw.
Chandler. Michael said, "Don't feel sorry for him."
Yep.
We don't feel sorry for him. No reason to feel sorry for him.
He's on his way to the top.
But I think that also too for all of us, there's lessons. How would you feel, right? Like 2 years invested into something. I mean, a lot of you are like, it's the end of the world when you don't convert a lead. Well, imagine how that man feels. I so look up to him, his resilience, his strength, and what he does. Just honored to be a friend and see all that he's going through and the great lessons that he's teaching all of us. And so, yeah, you don't have to text me. I know the fight is off. I'm well aware. And yeah, I really look forward to next chapter. I saw that Dana said Michael can call his shot, whatever he wants to do. Is he waiting for Connor? What does he want to fight someone else? He literally can
do whatever he
call
wants
his
at
own
this point.
shot right now. So listen, you got to make lemonade when life gives you lemons. So love to Michael Chandler. You're gonna be just fine. I absolutely
He already
know
is just fine. Yep.
All right, how about we give away $500?
Let's do it. Let's
We
give away
got,
some money.
The digital canasta. This is my favorite part. Not seeing what name it lands on, but seeing all the names it doesn't land on.
That's not nice.
No,
That's
your
not
name, you're
nice.
so close. You're like, I saw my name, but it didn't stop there. You guys know how this works. Let me just explain it to you before we fire off, because it is half a rack up for grabs today. When the canasta lands on your name, you have exactly 30 seconds to, in the chat, let us know that you're here. So you have to to check the chat. You might want to test it out. Like, it's fine to write test and make sure it's working, because after 30 seconds, that's it.
That's it.
If you show up at second 31,
doesn't count.
You do not get the money. It's half a rack. It's starting to get serious. In the next couple of weeks, if we don't have a winner, all of the sideliners start showing up for Shawn and Lacey live.
600 is the tipping point.
I think this is it. This is it. We got the serious hardcore folks, the decisive people on a Wednesday. We're giving away $500. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. First name.
Oh, I saw Lauren Couture.
I saw Brooke Lyons.
Allison Asher. Oi, oi, oi. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. We have Australian Allison Asher is the winner.
What time is it there right now, though?
It's 8 a.m. She's just getting
that's
ready.
Right. That's right.
She's in the morning. She's doing her hair, doing her makeup, getting ready for the day.
Maybe
and she kicked off the day with $500 US. That's about 1.6 million Australian dollars, folks. Allison Asher, you have won $500, but you gotta claim your prize.
Alliteration. It's obviously fake.
You did not make it.
It's obviously fake.
Bummer, bummer, bummer. Name number one.
We have met Allison live and in the flesh, just so you know, it's a real name.
Number two.
Watch
for your name, folks. Here we go. I saw Dale Andakovic. I saw Casey Sant. Nicole Barton. Nicole, you have
know what I like
won
about James?
half a rack.
James does start the timer on time.
Yeah.
Like, James is so good about 30 seconds.
Yeah, he's agile.
Nicole Barton, you got 30 seconds.
Listen, some of our guys, they're clicking around on stuff. They're not really sure what's going on.
All of a sudden, it's been 10
Sound
seconds. The timer
effects
hasn't
are going on.
started.
The music's out of sync.
There may not be music at
all. You guys
all.
are lucky. You guys get professional production tonight on Shawn and Lacey. You know who's not lucky? Nicole.
Yeah.
Nicole,
she
you
is
did
lucky.
not
She
claim
just
your prize. You did not claim. You're a winner. I mean, how cool is it? Your name got drawn. You just didn't claim your prize. 2 names down. There's only 3 more names to go. It's getting exciting, folks.
Who we got, James?
A rack.
Half a rack.
Go. Name number 3.
I saw Jenna Davis.
Ooh, I did see Jenna. Oh, I saw
Ted Vicky.
Dan Brown.
Dan Brown.
Okay. A lot of you on the chat right now know Dan Brown.
Scottish Dan Brown.
James Taylor knows Dan Brown, so he can no longer say fake name. James, I would like you to come in the comments and say that's a real name.
Yeah, James.
Yep.
Be nice. You know Dan Brown.
Oh, see,
Dan Brown knows
rigged.
you.
We were just there. I mean,
Oh, we were just there, so we called Dan Brown.
It's 5 hours ahead, though. He's probably sleeping right now.
But no, I don't think Dan Brown's asleep quite yet.
Oh, that's fair. He is a Scot. He's probably drinking.
All right. What is that?
Right.
3 down,
Right.
2 to go.
3 down. 2 more.
2 more names.
All right. Next to last name.
Here we go.
I saw Chris Slininger.
Oh, I saw Namira.
I saw Craig Wing. Pomelo. Mellow.
That is a good name. Is he
Oh
really
yeah,
mellow?
that's a DJ name.
Yeah, that's a
Just about to
You're
yeah.
listening to Smooth Jazz with Paul
With
Mellow.
DJ Mellow
DJ Mellow.
in the mix.
Oh, I like that, DJ Mellow.
DJ Mellow.
All right, Paul,
Don't
you
worry
got 10
me.
seconds.
Oh,
Come on.
Too soon.
Oh yeah, too soon. Come
Too
on.
soon. I
Jeez.
love it.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I did a Rory out there on the floor today.
Did you?
Christian was like,
I
that's a
identify
thing.
as Paul Mello. We have in the comments.
All right, my
It was
friends.
a little late. That was at 31 seconds anyway, Kyle. Sorry.
All right, my friends. This is it.
This is it.
Last name.
Last
We
name.
haven't gone. This is like quite a streak.
Yeah.
Usually, like we go bang, 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 like back to back to back on
Yep.
the 300s. We have a shot at getting to 600 next week.
I know.
But let's not count our chickens. We
Before
got
they
one
hatch.
more name.
Finish
This
that.
could be you. Here we go.
Boom. All right.
Oh, I saw Grant Dennis.
Ooh, I did.
Mark Cook. You are the winner, Mark Cook.
Where you at, Mark?
Come
Mark
on, Mark. You
Cook.
got 22 seconds to claim
Mark can
your
cook.
half a rack of chips, half a stack. Take it all to Vegas, put it on black. Mark Cook, $500. You are tonight's big winner.
Aw.
We're looking for Mark Cook, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not looking good for Mark. It's looking great
Yeah.
for all of the rest of you. There's about 1,000
Because
names
you can win
in the canasta.
600. And look at people are saying they're seeing all these other names. Dr. Brooke Lyons
I saw Brooke's name.
Matthias, yeah,
I
and
saw
we saw
Brooke's name.
Brooke's name. I mean, we saw some names in there. I saw Jenna Day. We saw a lot of names.
I saw Grant Dennis.
Well,
It's-
yeah.
it's-
Grant's never won, I don't
Grant-
think.
Yeah,
So,
Grant. No, too bad, Grant.
well, all
Grant's
right.
kind of like the Arkansas Razorbacks of the digital canasta. Like he's like pretty much like
loses all the time.
yeah, he's like
Oh.
out before it even starts. Like that's kind of how it is for Grant Dennis.
Well, I hope everybody got something out of tonight, and I hope that you give yourself
know they did.
permission to
I know
move
they
through
did.
the seasons of business and life.
Folks, we had tons of fun with you. We're so excited to be back. We're not going anywhere. We're coming back next week, and we're coming back with half a rack plus a black. We're giving away $600. Calling out 6 names. Odds may be in your favor at 6 names, 1,000+ names in the digital canasta. So, hey, you never know. It could be your turn to win big. All right, everybody. Wish us luck in the member guest. Send good vibes to Dill and Galt. We hope that we can take home the chip right here at Chatham Hills, folks. We'll be back next week right here on Shawn and Lacey Live.